Hi everyone and welcome to this episode of Kopi with Chris. It is KWC time and my name is Chris Henson. Today I've got a man who came from the bowels of Singapore's underworld to becoming a hero in our community and our society. And I have with me my Kopi Kaki for today, Andrew Ong.
Hi, thanks, Chris.
My pleasure. And let's have a cuppa first. Here we go. What's the show without coffee? But you're not having coffee because, as you guys can see, this man is dressed in biking wear. Is that right? Biking wear or cycling wear?
Yeah, both would be okay.
Oh, both's fine. No,
Both's
okay.
fine.
He came cycling here all the way from Sengkang. Can you believe it? My goodness, just thinking about it, man, my piles popped out.
I thought might as well, just
How do you
show up
Oh, God.
as a part, yeah.
All the padding on the seat, on the pants, getting on the bike seat. Well, anyway, Andrew, thank you so very much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Recently, for those of you at home, I'm very proud and pleased to also tell you that Andrew Ong is a recent winner of the Singapore Silent Heroes Award in the Outstanding Adult category. But before we even get into the award, Andrew, I'd like you, which is quite a mainstay on the show, all of my Kopi Kakis that come on, we will leave the microphone to the Kopi Kaki to make his own introduction and to tell everyone at home what and who you're all about.
Okay.
Over to you.
Sure. Thanks, Chris. Really a privilege to be part of this show. Right?
My pleasure, sir.
I know some of the folks that appeared, so really glad to be part of it. So a little bit myself. My name is Andrew Ong. I'm in my 40s, and I'm working with a social enterprise called Impact. So I had recently been awarded, as you mentioned, the Silent Heroes Award last year. I'm not just one of them. I'm just one of them.
Of a few.
Yeah, there are about 5
Right.
of them as well. So it was quite an honor as well to be recognized, although it was meant to be silent.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to be silent about that here on this show. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was basically awarded for 2 aspects. One was my transformation journey. I was an ex-offender, as you mentioned earlier, and how I, sort of reform over the years, and not just reform, but also my contribution, to society, especially towards ex-offenders. So I make it my personal mission, to break the stereotypical perception towards ex-offenders.
Okay.
Right? And also for ex-offenders to sort of help them see beyond their labels as well, that they can achieve so much more.
Okay.
Yeah, I can share a little bit more later on, like how.
Well, for sure.
I
I've got
think
loads of
about
questions for you, man.
Yeah.
Loads of questions.
Sure.
But looking at you, Andrew, and listening to the way you speak, one would never have thought that you were an ex-offender, really.
Yeah.
Really?
To be honest, if you knew me back about 20 years ago, I was a totally different person. I am also very shocked by the journey that I've been in, the change.
The transformation you've made.
Yeah.
Okay.
The language. I used to be very, very colorful.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Every
Every
sentence would have
sentence.
the
Shit,
KNN. The
Shit, sounds like me,
CCB.
man. Sounds a lot like me. Okay.
I had my hair dyed, in the early 90s.
Right.
We're like all Gen X, right? I assume you're the same generation, Gen X.
I'm a Gen Xer, yeah.
Yeah.
X-Gener, yes. X-Gener. I always get that part wrong. I don't know why. X-Gener, yeah.
Yeah. So
You're towards the end, the cusp of the end of the X generation, right?
So you all your JPG wallets, your comb with the
Yeah.
pointed
That
end.
you're that bunch of guys. You're
Yeah.
one of those guys at the end of that generation. Because I'm an X-Gener. I don't go for JPG, dude. I mean, no, man. I go for ISIS.
Oh yeah. It's coming back. I heard.
It's back. It's back. It's already back.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, this has always been my joy in doing this show. Whenever I host this show, I just want to be able to get to know my Kopi Kaki well. I want to delve deep.
Yeah.
Get to know you personally. You know, lots of my Kopi kakis outside of the cameras, we become friends, which is great. And we actually have Kopi outside as well together. It is really weird, man. Kopi in the studio and not Kopi outside Kopi Kiam, you know. But and this is what it's all about. I really like to get to know my Kopi kakis well, and you know, and to do that, this is where how I always do things. I will go right from the beginning. Right. Okay, now we know you popped about 40 plus years ago, but let's not go all the way there. Let's talk about this. Let's start this way. Which primary school are you from?
I was in Clementi Town.
Clementi
Primary
Town.
school.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were a normal kid.
Yeah, just normal kid. Had two younger brothers. Parents were... My dad was in the police force.
No shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was mine.
Look how we turned out.
Yeah, look how we turned out, dude.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so your
yeah,
dad was a cop. You were in Clementi Town Primary School.
Correct.
And you had a normal childhood.
Yeah, normal. You know, you go down play soccer in the void deck.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and
Who didn't? Okay.
your goalies and play marble and
Yeah,
all
okay.
that stuff. Yeah.
And then after that, you ended up in secondary school.
Yeah.
Which school was that?
That was in Yusof Ishak Secondary School.
Ouch.
Back then, it was known as the gangster school.
My wife was from there.
Really?
She's about your age.
Or probably we know each other.
I know all about what happened in Yusof Ishak in the
early days.
day. In the day. Yeah, back in the day.
After my batch, when we graduate, I did not graduate. I dropped out. The school became better. Really, really.
What? So you're saying you're personally responsible how bad it became?
No, I mean our cohort.
Your cohort.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I think our cohort was the last that were quite notorious in that sense.
Really? So you dropped out of Yusof Ishak.
Yes.
Let me just go back a little bit. You
Sure.
did your PSLE.
Yes, I did.
You made it to normal stream or express stream?
Express.
You're not kidding, man.
Yeah.
You were a bright kid. I'm a normal
That's right.
stream student, mate. You know? Okay, I would have half expected anyone who's going to be a ragamuffin in school. You don't mind me saying so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would be basically someone in a normal stream, which I'm not trying to stereotype. I'm a normal
Yeah.
stream boy myself.
Yeah.
But you were an express stream boy. And you went in, okay, Sec 1, Sec 2. Then what happened? What happened? You got notorious in Yusof Ishak.
It was not something that was out of sudden. I think I was always mischievous. I wasn't a very studious type. You know, I usually meet or during secondary last. Eventually became last. Or first in class, but from the bottom.
Okay.
Not really
First in
outstanding,
class but from the bottom. That's good.
but outstanding in a different way, always standing out of the class.
Outstanding.
Yeah, outstanding. That's why I got the outstanding award without so different. Yeah, same but different. Yeah. But I guess what happened, what took a turn was when my family were going through a tough patch.
Okay.
Like all marriages, right? They go through some challenges, but
Sure.
at that point they were heading towards a divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't the best conducive environment that I enjoyed going home. So I started to stay out from home. Eventually, I also lost interest in studies because, you know, if we are honest, right, when we are young, the vision or the purpose of why we do certain things is the approval of our parents,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, why we want to score and study and all that is make our parents proud.
Yeah.
So when that
Oops.
oh,
Don't worry about it, man.
dramatic effect.
Don't worry about it, man. We got great tablecloth there. See,
Yeah.
water just floating.
Yeah. So when that happened, I sort of lost interest in studying, right, and started to look elsewhere for solitude, you know.
Okay.
And one thing led to another. I know I didn't mix with my classmate that much as well in the express stream.
Okay.
I also thought that they were pretty just study quite.
Geeks.
Yeah, I was quite bored.
Bunch of nerds.
Not really. I mean, they were cool geeks. Yeah.
Cool geeks. Okay.
They played soccer, you know, and all that, so that was still okay.
Cool enough. Okay.
But it was not enough for me. Wanted more fun, you know,
Alright.
during that period of time.
Uh-huh.
And so I started to hang out with those cool dudes, you know, who were playing basketball, you know, with the shirt
Cool
off.
dudes.
with the shirt off, and after that they were smoking and all that. I thought, hey, maybe I want to hang out with them, get to know them.
Right.
And one thing led to another. Found out they were part of a gang, and they sort of roped me in.
For real, they were part of a real gang.
Yeah, I mean...
Outside.
Yes.
Triad.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So at that time, I mean, of course, we were all kids still, right? Secondary, what do you expect? So they asked me, do you want to be part of a gang? I said, okay. What do I need to do? The guy who was my first hitman, I had a few hitmen. My first hitman said, okay lah, you just buy me a honky lah, Marlboro Red, $2.40. Okay, buy for me, give me. Okay. Now you are my Gina.
That was your induction to be a Gina. Okay.
I said, like that. Okay.
How old were you then when this happened? Sec 1, Sec 2?
Early Sec 3.
Sec 3, when you're 15 years old.
Around there.
Okay.
Crossing over.
Crossing over, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you mix around upper sex, then upper secondary kids, then that's where you get exposed as well.
Well, I was a normal stream student, as I mentioned a couple of times earlier on, right? I smoked, when I was in school. Kids, please don't follow this. This is a bad examples, okay? Good grief. Parents, please make sure that you're guiding your kids, if you're watching this with them. I hope not, that your kids are not watching. Or you can guide them along. I smoked in school. I had my fair share of fights, my dad was a cop, but I never got involved in anything more than that.
Yeah.
But you decided to make that crossover to buy that packet of Marlboro Reds, so that you can become a Gina.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand, were there any other motivations besides wanting to be part of the gang?
I guess the motivation was, at that age, we are looking for a sense of identity, a sense of belonging. Okay. Right? Being part of a tribe of sorts.
Right.
Finding your way around. And when the family is sort of disintegrated at that point of time.
Right.
So it's sort of lost,
Right.
Find something missing.
Yes.
So on hindsight, it's really about finding that community, that family.
Right.
Yeah, to support.
Yeah, but so you found it in this group of guys. How many of them were there at a time?
I mean, we were huge lah. I mean, just part of that group. I mean, just maybe about 10, but that 10 is part of a bigger group.
Yeah, of course, part of the bigger group. But there were 10 of you from the school.
Yeah.
And and at that time, after you got inducted, during that period as a teenager, were there things that you had to do or done that you shouldn't have done?
Of course, I smoke, right? Pick up smoking.
That's normal. Okay.
Yeah. Started swearing. That's normal.
That's normal. I think even if it's a kid, look, come on, let's be honest here. A bunch of guys, right? Bunch of guys start cursing and swearing. I mean, I guess even from primary 6, secondary 1, you start doing that.
But these days, the swearing is very different from the past, right? Our past was much more colorful. Now it's a bit more sophisticated, a bit,
I'm watching my son; he doesn't swear at all. It's really weird. Yeah, but I remember back when, in my day, I mean, at 11, 12, we was already cursing and swearing, smoking every now and then. Sure, I mean, but most of these things, I mean, we do all these things and then we get mischievous. We do all kinds of cheeky things, but we don't actually become members of a real gang society.
Yeah.
We don't. So, but you did.
Yeah. I guess
what a leap, isn't it?
I guess at that point in time, I didn't really understand what I was also getting myself into. This whole triad thing, and all that. But it was a gradual thing that I got more into and find out that, there's a whole bigger network and there's a whole other...
How do you feel when you discovered that? That it was a much bigger
Actually, it was
network?
quite cool,
Oh, you felt it was cool still?
Yeah. Because I guess it was... I have no regrets joining the gang because, again, on hindsight, it was the family that I needed, the support.
Yeah.
And you still feel this? You still feel the same?
Yeah, I still
way
feel the same.
today?
Yeah, I still keep in touch with my friends because I owe them so much. You know, when I didn't stay at home, some of them hooked me up with their home. They put me up. You know, even shared their allowance with me to tie me through. We were 15, 16. You know, on about 15.
Yeah,
10,
okay.
16. So went through quite a lot of shit. You know, as young. You know, loss and all. We're just supporting one another. If anyone bullied one of us, we will stand up for each other. So you learn good things. You learn about righteous, being a sick of justice.
Camaraderie, standing by your brothers.
Yes, it's just misguided. The outcome is misguided. That's all. But the values are what is missing today. Actually, you see, you don't betray. For example, you don't backstab. Anything you confront, you
talk it out.
Talk it out, trash it out. Like man, not happy, go out 1-to-1, come back. Okay, after that, forget about it, move on. So you don't.
There's some kind of nobility there, like.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay.
And I guess that also was influenced by during that time they had the Young and Dangerous, the movie coming out, or 1, 2, 3, 4. That sort of glamorized gangsterism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you do? I'm sure that there was some illegal stuff that were also.
Definitely. So slowly, smoking, then start drinking, then after that you glue sniffing. Glue. I think glue sniffing was the early part as kids. During the secondary school days. I mean, it's cheap, easy to get an easy high, a quick high. So that went on until about 17. Then try to stop. Saw it as very cheap lah.
So you stopped the glue sniffing at 17, but all this glue sniffing thing were all happening together with the same group of guys that you belong with.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so as I said, we went through.
Yeah, but despite the nobility and the great stuff that is so good to feel belonged, there were these things that were really not really good at all.
At that point of time, to be honest, yes, I was against it. As a young kid,
right?
Just trying to be morally right, but ignorant at the same time. So I just thought curiosity, just try it.
Okay.
See my friend are doing it. Quite enjoyable.
You dropped out of school, but why did you drop out of school?
As mentioned, I just lost interest in studying.
And you just left?
It was at my Sec 4 during
O-levels.
O-levels. I decided to just don't waste time.
So you didn't pursue your O-levels?
Yeah, back then I just dropped out.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought, don't lower the stats for the class lah.
Very, very honorable of you, man. Very honorable, mate. Yeah, man. Okay. So were you the only one that left, or the rest of the gang left with you?
I mean, for my case, I think in my class, I was the only one.
You're the only one that left?
Yeah.
And the rest stayed?
Yeah. I mean, my gang friends, they were not from my class. They're from other classes, the normal tech, and also outside the school. So we had different neighborhood schools all together.
Yeah, but all part of the same family.
Yeah.
Okay,
correct.
so after you joined the gang, the glue sniffing and all that, were there any other things that were illegal that you guys did?
Yeah, I mean, we
Beat
fought.
people
Yeah,
up?
definitely. I mean, that time, fire was hot. We got tea dance and all that.
Oh,
happening.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So girls, but no booze. But still, we were still high, testosterone.
No, of course, yeah.
On show.
Still high on testosterone, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
No matter what people might say, but we're still high on testosterone.
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
and then of course, like what you see on news reports. You see what I see what you see.
Oh, is
So
there
my
any
mother,
incidents?
okay, but
But there were
Very
no
tribal.
But there were no extortion. You didn't conduct any extortion stuff and all that kind of thing.
no. In fact, before I joined the gang, I was extorted.
Okay. Interesting. Before you joined the gang, you were extorted.
Yeah.
So you were a victim or something.
Yeah.
And this happened in school,
No, that was outside.
outside, but it wasn't from the same people you knew.
No, different.
Different bunch of people who came to extort you.
Oh, that's a whole other story because now as I'm bringing it up.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the guy who extorted me,
Uh-huh.
eventually, a couple of years later, we happened to work together. Yeah,
Work together where?
as a colleague.
At work, at work, not
In a hotel,
not in
yeah.
a secret society thing.
No, in a hotel. I was
Part timing.
part timing. Then when I found out that he was the one, I brought my friends. Okay,
Okay. All right. So nothing bloody changed. All right. Okay. So you're working here now. You sell you now. Take my friends.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You must
that
have got it
that
bad,
was-
I suppose.
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. All right. So you worked sorted first before you even joined the gang.
Yeah, it was at the Old National Library. I and my friends, we were going to Peninsula Plaza. You know, at the time, basketball craze, NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had my paycheck. I still remember about $200 in my wallet.
Uh-huh.
At that time, it's quite a lot for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why they preyed on us. They were just walking behind, and they were quite tall.
Older guys.
Older guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were gangsters too.
No, I think so. At that time, we were ignorant green. You know, they come to us and said, "What number you all play?" I also don't know what is that. What number?
That's something I haven't heard in a long, long time. Okay.
What number? What shape?
What number you play?
So they know. I think we were like gundu like that lah. Blah blah. Jiak gao gao.
Yeah lah, of course
So I
it's jiak,
say,
you guys.
take out your wallet. Yeah. You also don't know blah blah. You go give one. After we give, already they take the money. Then they start running away. Then I and my friends look at each other.
Why did we do it?
Yeah, what happened? Then we chased after them.
You know,
Then we get chased and we caught the guy.
and then what happened?
Yeah,
You caught the guy
one of
and-
the guy went up the bus.
Uh,
So we went up the bus and we apprehended him.
uh-huh.
Yeah, and the bus drivers helped as well. Then we drove to the police station and just passed it
Wow,
there.
you were
So eventually we got the money back. And
Okay.
But it was after a couple of months later. Yeah.
Okay, so at that point in time, Andrew Ong was still a decent kid.
Yeah.
It wasn't long after that incident that you actually make the switch.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Just
Didn't it occur to you?
it didn't really occur me. Even back then when I had a state also lah, girlfriend
Okay,
then.
okay.
Yeah, and also very guai, decent, express ma, right? You know,
Okay,
express.
okay.
You know? And then when all these things, the family thing episode happened, just a sudden switch or so. Then I decided that shouldn't be together as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm going in a different direction already now. I decided I'm going in a different direction. Guai cannot.
So the decision you made was a very concerted decision. It was quite clear, wasn't it?
Clear, but yet subconsciously. It wasn't like deliberate, you know.
I'm trying to understand the
Yeah.
motivations here,
Yeah, I
besides
understand.
what's happening in the family
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
You know? Because you were this guy who was extorted himself.
Yeah.
You gave chase. You apprehended the guy. You brought the guy to the police, you know, and then this was, to me, Andrew Ong. Hey, you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad. I mean, but what happened? But boom, there was an overnight, sort of almost an overnight change.
Yeah.
And then you had a decent girlfriend that you broke up with, which shows me, I don't know, I mean, in my mind anyway, that you made a decision that I am going to be a gangster. So I'm trying to understand what the heck happened. You know why it's important? Because there are a lot of young teens out there as well. You know, whether or not they're going to be making, they make a switch like this, so as much as travel that road that you travel, which of course we should discourage, isn't it? What would motivate a teenager from to do this? So
So I guess I was kind of, as I mentioned that, although I was quite quiet, but I was still mischievous. Even prior to that, I was not an angel, you know, because I was in primary school.
yeah,
I was caught for housebreaking. Okay, but it was a prank, you know, like
okay,
with a few friends, we broke into our school, going steal the canteen drinks and
Okay,
coin,
okay.
loose change inside the store.
petty theft. Okay,
Yeah, but it's considered housebreaking.
okay,
Yeah, so I was placed on probation.
probation. Okay.
Yeah, so I was mischievous.
So you're saying that
yeah.
so all this while you've been that kind of guy.
Yeah, but wasn't that wild or that bad. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
just
it didn't escalate or evolve.
Yeah,
It evolved later
Yeah.
into something worse.
Yeah, you
Correct.
could say that. Yeah,
But you're saying to me that then, therefore, there's already a seed in you
yeah. That,
since
that,
you were a kid. Am I right?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe if we had all the knowledge back then, maybe I would have been labeled ADHD. Could have been.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, given that what you just said, that you could have been labeled ADHD back then, if like today, in today's
Yeah.
context, a lot of people talk about these subjects.
Yeah.
Then today, in today's context, therefore, as I said, when people talk about this subject, kids with ADHD and they're treated, then maybe could it be possible that, I don't know, that
The other factors behind it.
yeah,
It could be.
and then it would stop more kids from actually taking on this kind of route or path in life.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
What's a gang like in Singapore, man?
I mean, I don't know about now.
Yeah.
But back then, I mean, I wouldn't call it, like the traditional kind of secret society where you need to cut your blood.
No.
Drink,
Oh
all that.
no, that doesn't happen.
I don't
There's
think,
rituals and all that. No.
I don't think that happens today.
Right.
But what we did is pretty much camaraderie, brotherhood for the 3 words, because all gang had three letters in the
Yeah. Okay.
gang. So it's like how we support Liverpool or Man U, against the kind of rivalry,
Man United. Okay.
Yeah, Man United.
Bye bye Liverpool. Yes.
Yeah, but we don't fight lah. We're not like those British fans, they
Oh,
go.
yeah. We won't fight.
Yeah. So it's something similar where you
Similar.
protect that 3 words. You protect the name. Yeah.
But-
and they take care of you,
But
So
those-
there are what you call 老教,
Yeah, yeah.
老配郎,
Yeah.
old headmen that take care of us, that provide funds,
But why would they do that? I mean, there must be something that's got to come back, right?
Yeah, so they are in illegal business as well. I mean,
That's what I'm talking
right?
about.
They got
Yeah.
money lending. They have
mon-
other vices that they are.
Illegal money lending and
Yeah.
gambling dens and all that.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And didn't you have to serve national service?
Yeah, I did. So after that, I went national service.
And you served for 2.5 or 2 years?
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah, Hokkien
Okay.
Peng.
Hokkien Peng, but with 2 stripes at least, 2.5. Right? Because these days it's only 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. In your day, my day, 2.5 if you got 2 stripes. Yeah. Okay. So you served, but as an officer or as a?
Hokkien Peng.
I mean, yeah. I know some officers are also very Hokkien Peng, but
I school drop out.
they got seafood also. No, some of them. Okay, school dropout. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
And you served in the army.
Infantry.
Infantry. Wow. Okay.
冲刷啦.
Which unit?
3, sir.
Bedok. At the
Yes.
time.
Yeah. Very proud of it because we got the best combat and best infantry unit. First time.
I think I know who you were under at the time.
Yeah, so
I
same.
know the guys. Yes, correct. I know the guys in 3SIR back then very well.
Yeah.
Quite a number.
Yeah, so quite
Yeah.
proud of
Yeah,
being
you got a good
part of that.
RSM as well.
Yeah.
Jet Teng.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. That's why I asked whether or not which unit you went to. So it's 3SIR. Then you had a great time in the army.
Definitely. Yeah.
Wow. And no, didn't go into detention or anything like that.
I did, but it was after
Oh,
doing my reservist.
so doing
Yeah.
national service full time, you
Yeah.
were actually quite glad doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So in between my national service, I got incarcerated. Was a gang fight. Yeah. So I had a lot of fights, but we never get caught. I never got caught before. We always did a very clean job. Actually, one of the things why at that time, I think our gang grew a reputation for being really young and dangerous. Yeah. We did all the dirty work, and of course in terms of cleaning up against our rivals and all that, So we had gained quite a reputation. So we were pretty proud of that back then.
Then fierce, basically.
Yeah. And one day in 1996, what happened was one of the guys was got whacked, came back to our HQ.
Right.
Yeah, so we all have HQ lah, you know. Back then it was 8 Bukit Merah.
Okay.
Yeah, came back and then we found out, we heard, then we decided, okay, let's go and find the perpetrators.
Right.
Yeah, so we went down to their territory. It was Orchard Plaza, just looking out for them. So we were sweeping every part. We reached Wisma first. After Wisma, Taka. Then,
Lucky.
yeah.
Lucky.
Then
Down,
after
down,
that,
Paragon, down
Orchard
to
Plaza.
Central
Orchard Plaza,
Point.
we spotted them, and that's where all hell broke loose lah. Yeah,
You mean on the street?
yeah, on the street, spotted them. They ran, we chased, and we just.
But these kind of
whacked.
fights are not just using your fists and your legs, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course we had weapons with us as well, you know, but nothing that dangerous.
Okay,
you know.
that would kill. That could kill, but your guys are conscious of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So one of the guys went into coma.
You mean one of your guys?
No,
The other side.
the other side.
Okay.
Once we whacked, you know, like probably lasted about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, then
Right.
we just ran.
Right.
I ran. I thought, everything okay already. No problem.
Right.
Clean job. The next morning, early in the morning, 5 a.m., CID was at my door, my home. Yeah. Asked me to change, follow them. So I was thinking, shit, what happened, man? I thought, you know, we did a clean job. What happened? You know, so we just followed, and then went to the police station, got a book, got back. Oh, kena
whack.
whack. I don't know anything about they whack, aircon, book, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, almost 24 hours, man, inside. Yeah. And then at the last part, I realized I saw a friend, same gang.
Also inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I realized we got ratted.
So that friend ratted you guys out.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So all of us, most of us got caught, got apprehended, and were convicted.
Oh, so
For
that was
rioting.
when you were convicted
Yeah.
for rioting.
Yeah. So my sentence, they gave me, my initial sentence was 30 months and 5 strokes of a cane.
Okay.
5 strokes. That was very serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I entered Queenstown Remand Prison, which
Okay.
now defunct already.
Yes,
No more, no longer around. But at the time, it was quite
Yes.
a hellhole.
Okay. Was it?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much privilege over there, because you just
Unlike Changi, you mean the
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean the treatment is different?
different. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Queenstown Remand is just a holding place, just waiting
Okay.
for you, like BMT. After
Remand.
BMT,
Yeah. That's why it's called remand.
yeah,
Okay, so it's a tough joint. Okay.
yeah, and where you get your cane, then
It's-
after that they will transfer you.
So you took the strokes.
Almost. I haven't got to that.
Okay, let's go back to that.
Yeah. Actually,
Okay.
this part was a defining moment in my life. That, you know, just as how I cross over,
Mm-hmm.
you know, from the light to the dark.
Okay.
They somehow also brought me from the
Dark
dark
to
to
the
the
light.
Yeah. So it was in prison where I actually encountered supernaturally God. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a Christian sort of family.
Right.
You know, but I've never really believed. You know, because like I hear about Jesus and all that stuff. You know, went to Sunday service, Sunday school. But okay, this Jesus died for you, so what? Never died for me. I never asked him to die for me, you know, something like that, you know. So I was quite rebellious, didn't really see the relevance. But then, because inside prison you really have nothing to do. It's so boring, you know.
Yeah.
23 hours you're in a cell.
Right.
Only 1 hour you get to be in the yard
Right.
where you can do your exercise and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do 23 hours? You basically read.
Read.
Yeah, you read all your magazines, you read all your books, you know. So I devour every book. I didn't really like to read last time. I just read all
There's nothing else to do.
the novels, So for the first time, I had nothing to read.
Okay.
Then it happened there was a Bible over there. So for the first time, I took the Bible and read.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was reading the Gospels. I got to, because I hear a lot about Jesus from other people,
Sure.
you know. But this time it was firsthand, my personal encounter in reading who he really was, what he stood up for, how he fought for those who were bullied, you know, and how he really served the marginalized, you know, and it really, and how wise he was as well when he retorted all the Pharisees and religious folks.
Yeah, okay.
So I was thinking as a young chap, you know, in the gang, wow, this guy, great gang leader, man.
And he had long hair too.
Yeah. Really, because, you know, he left an impression that, wow, this guy is righteous, you know, he's righteous.
Okay.
You know, he stood up for those who were bullied,
Yeah.
you know, that's what we do as well, right?
Well, that's one way of looking at it. Yeah, okay.
You know, and, you know, as a gang member or gang leader, you need to be very very street smart in terms of how you negotiate with,
Sure,
you know?
sure. Okay, okay.
how you spar, you know, you know what I mean, right?
verbal sparring,
yeah.
yeah.
So he was quick on his feet. The way he retorted, just stunned
Okay.
the other folk, you know.
Okay.
So I thought this Jesus, a great gang leader. Yeah, really. And I said, wow. But one thing that stood up for me was how holy he was, in the sense that how right he was, he was. You know, because one thing that I wasn't convinced about Christianity was measuring myself up with the people that I saw that were conducting themselves as Christians.
Okay.
You know, so there was always a reason to say that, why should I believe you're worse off than me? I don't go to church, so I think I conduct myself better. You know, things like that, you know, you tend to so
Yeah.
but lo and behold, as I measure up myself with him, I felt that, wow, there's a big gap there, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I got no reason to justify any of my actions, you know, and I knew that I was a sinner in that sense.
All right.
Yeah. So that's how I got to know him and sort of gave my life in a sense to say that, I want to be a Christian. Unfollow you, Jesus, this gang leader.
So after that, he didn't ask you for a packet of Marlboro Reds.
Oh no, he asked for my life. Worse.
But I'm curious, when you went into Queenstown remand,
Yeah.
you had plenty of time.
Yeah.
And you know, and the only thing you can do is to read.
Yeah.
Right? And how did the Bible ended up in your hand?
Yeah. So this has always been a mystery to me that I find that I concluded that it was like a divine arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sort of.
You mean the Bible was just happened to be there in your cell?
Yeah, I guess it was another inmate who just
Left it
there.
behind.
Yeah, left it behind, and I just pick it up. Yeah, not knowing what else to read, I read almost everything else.
So basically, you had enough time to read the whole Bible.
It was just the New Testament.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was another saving grace, because
Okay.
if you start with the Old Testament, it's so dry. You know, you don't understand what the hell he's talking most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, but what happened was back to the 5 strokes, right? that I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
supposed to have.
Exactly.
So at that point in time, my lawyer also spoke to me. He said that she told me, she's another character altogether. I'm very thankful for her. So she said that, hey, there's a chance that we could win an appeal. You know, would you want to go along? So I said, sure. Why not? You know. Then when I went back to my cell, I told my fellow inmates, right? They were all like lao jiao inside there, go in and out. I said, I want to appeal. I said, don't. I even told the prison officer, he said, better don't. Tell me don't. You know. They said, because at that point in time, it was Yong who was the Chief Justice.
Oh, yes.
You know, right?
Yes, I do.
I just say the name already, you know.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Not going to comment any further than that. Yeah, but yes, I do.
So the late Yong was known to be very notorious in terms of tamba.
On the appeals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So they said, wow, you go in 100% now, confirm. Tamba 30 months because 60 months. 5 stroke because 10 stroke. Better don't. Yeah. So I mean, I'm young, 18 years old, you know. So of course, emotionally unable to handle. So I go back to my lawyer, say, I think I don't want. So this happened back and forth for a couple of maybe 3 or 4 times. Until my lawyer said, okay, you just tell me whether you want to appeal or not. You don't want to appeal also, it's okay, right? So at that point in time, I was at my wit's end, so I said, okay lah, I pray lah. Tell God, okay, God, you tell me, whether I should appeal or not. Why not you speak to me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So at that point in time, I just got to know Him, the Bible and all that. So one day I was reading, and the Bible,
Yeah.
like any other day, and this particular scripture
Yeah.
just hit me, like,
A verse or a passage.
yeah. So it was in Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. It says that if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, yes, yeah, you can say to this mountain, move, and it will move. So as I was reading across, just reading, and just come to this part, then it was just like it's a burning sensation inside. I felt it, and I felt like, what is happening, man? And I concluded that, okay, God was telling me, just believe in Him. It's an affirmation to go ahead. Yeah, that this appeal is a mountain. It looks like, wow, gonna get tambah. But you believe in me, I will clear it for you. Right? So with that, I said, the lawyer, okay, let's go. Ready, yeah. So on the actual day, when the day of reckoning came, wow. Anyway, all these are on the papers, it was
Okay.
reported.
Oh, it was in the press.
I was
Okay.
impressed.
Alright.
The appeal when I won, what the Yong said and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the Supreme Court, that is also another experience because I never been in such a lockup before, right? Because the lockup was like, I don't know how to say, it's like a Batman cave.
Really?
Really. Yeah. I think they probably revamped the whole place already. Yeah.
Okay.
So how
This is the old Supreme Court.
yeah, so how fascinating was that I was in this lockup.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually a ladder, Then after that, the hood was open. They asked me to come up, climb
Climb up the ladder.
up. Inside the
Court.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you mean you climb up that ladder,
Yeah.
and you ended up
In the
court, in the
box.
chamber, in the box.
Yes. Then in front of me, Yong Hao.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I think those are for like high security, the one to avoid.
Yeah. They walk you around and all
Yeah,
that. So you just open a trap door and you just climb
Yeah,
up.
climb up.
Wow, my goodness.
So I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was,
No one knows this, man. I don't think so.
Yeah,
This is the
yeah,
first I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
it's
you
kind of
climbed up
experience.
and CJ, the former CJ, late Yong
looking
Hao
down.
was there, looking down at you.
Yeah, because he was elevated, so just looking up, peering, his specs. Yeah, then all the commotion going on, my lawyers defending and all that, presenting her case. Outcome is from 30 months, 5 stroke, he reduced it to 9 months, and he removed the strokes.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was there just stunned. What just happened?
Wow. And he didn't say why.
Of course, he did say.
May I ask, what
so
did
he
he
argued.
say?
He said that he agreed with my lawyers. By the way, my lawyer was Teo Soh Lung. She fought for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And her points were that I was young.
Yeah.
And also comparing to the other similar cases that have been persecuted before, mine was really drastically too much. So those were some of the grounds, and so some of the points where I said that, I wanted to serve the nation. I want to go back after my army. After my sentence, I want to go back and serve my NS.
Okay. Because you haven't completed it yet.
Yeah, which I really wanted to serve.
Okay. I'm sure you did. Yeah. Okay.
3 sir, okay,
Yeah, 3 sir is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Then so that was what happened, and he not only did he reduce mine because that I've won, right? My other case mate who was also sentenced, they did not appeal. They also got the same sentence, all reduced.
Okay.
Yeah, all 9 months.
Wow.
But some of them got caned already. Too late. I'm serious.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's how. So you served your 9 months by
6 months. I mean,
Oh, you did 6 months. Good behavior.
Yeah.
Ah.
3 months. Yeah. So
Okay.
At that point, I was already inside for 4 months.
I see. So that was
So
counted.
just two more months.
and then you came out.
Yeah, I just came out.
Andrew, we need to end this episode first. And this is what I need to ask you to do by looking to the camera right down there.
Sure.
And just do everyone a favor, especially our teenagers in Singapore. Can you send a message to all of them who are dabbling in gangs or any sort of crime? Say something to them, that you think you ought to say.
I mean, if you're in a gang, it's good to have friends, right? But always remember that you have a future as well. It's not just about you, but also your family, those around. So whatever decision you make, always remember there's an impact. Yeah, I know it's a bit long, but I want to say that when I was in prison, when I had in trouble, my gang friends were not there for me. It was my family. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Your family is more important. Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for watching part 1 of this episode of KWC with my Kopi Kaki, Andrew Ong. Make sure you tune in again next week for part 2. Kopi with Chris is available on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. This episode is to be continued. See you next week.